Hey guys, AuspiciousAussie here, and welcome to episode 77 of the Local to Global series here with the Canadian Wrestling Coalition. Now, today is a very special day, very special episode. We are at Final Chapter, finally at Final Chapter. And it is, of course, our season finale. And I would say it's very competitive between Warzone and Final Chapter. I would say they're both kind of they're our big two, basically. They're our sort of SummerSlam and WrestleMania, our all-out, the biggest show we can possibly have. Wrestle Kingdom, whatever you want to call it. They're their sort of comparisons. Anyway, first thing we need to look at is Nadia Snow's contract. Now, she is 37, but as you can see, she's very popular. She's also coming from CWA, so we can take another really top-level female talent. She's also got a good relationship there with Demeltzer Wade, which is pretty cool. But just getting another really talented female is only really going to help our division massively. Just looking at it there, she's got 35% merchandise, no creative control, which is nice. So what we'll do, I think, is we'll start off with a 10% bonus and then maybe see where we can sort of go from there. Should we go a 4-year? I think a 4-year contract would be decent. Take it to about 41 years old, and as you can see, we've actually got the negotiation so far, and that's only with the 10%. So could be looking pretty good. Anyway, who are these other people? I've completely forgotten. So we've got Marty Simmons, who we could sign him. And then obviously Sally Ann and Missy Masterson, who are two more women that we really want to get. I'm wondering if they lose Nadia Snow, I'm wondering if they might go back in for Sally Ann. Ooh, is she injured right now? She's injured. I did not notice that before. So with that said, I guess we probably won't be signing her at least until she gets back from her injury. I mean, that could... Yeah, I mean, she's probably losing stamina because of the injury. I don't think it would be because of time decline. But I might be wrong there. It very well might be time decline already setting in for her. Have a look at Missy. As you can see, she's not injured, which is great. But she is 40, but doesn't look like she's in time decline at all. So she'll definitely be our pickup. Missy Masterson. And Sally Ann, potentially not. Potentially not. Anyway, what we will do is just advance one day at a time. I just finished recording the new series intro as well. I'm not sure if I want to have it run on every episode. Probably not. Because it was a minute and a half long. It was kind of just me explaining exactly what's transpiring with the new series on this particular database. So I'm not 100% sure what to do if I decide to put that in for every episode. Probably not. Maybe just for the first 2 episodes, just so the people get an understanding of what's going on and why this challenge is a challenge that I've decided to create. I don't know if I've created it. I think I might have created it, though. I'm not sure if anybody's ever really done this before. But it will be interesting, to say the least. Alright, I think we have to get her. We have to get her. So let's go back in. What are they at? 62, 200. Okay, we'll go 20%. And automatically we have the better offer. Really? That's kind of strange. We've got the best offer. And we didn't actually increase any money. We just gave her a higher pay-per-view bonus, which is actually matching their bonus anyway. Very strange. Anyway, we can get rid of Sally out of the messages there just to keep it nice and fresh. Anyway, here we go. Final chapter. I've got my my little match list here. We're ready to go. And of course, we do have to strike off the Storm Spillane versus Marvel Malloy match. But I think in actually doing that, we might be at a perfect amount of time for the whole show, which could be very good. Anyway, they've come back in again, CWA. This time, probably, yeah. That's a lot more than we're currently offering. 67,000. Let's try 65,000 first, because she seemed to be really happy with our offer. And I wonder if that's my additional negotiating point that I put into our Alexander Robinson. I mean, we do want to get the winning offer, so we shall just keep going until we find this, the sweet spot. Yeah, Nadia Snow. I mean, Nadia Snow versus Laura Flame versus Amber Allen versus Deborah Young. There's some really good matchups there as well. Kind of a similar signing to Aaron Knight. Although we're gonna have to spend. Gonna have to spend to get her. It was interesting that she was happy for our other offer, and now not so much. I wonder if it's... Let me go back here real quick. Okay. I thought it might have been because they gave her like creative or something like that, creative control, but doesn't appear to be so. And now we're 10,000 over what they're actually offering, so not the greatest. I mean, the negotiations started pretty well, and now we're up to 80,000. Hopefully not too much more, because I'm getting really frustrated with this, and it's obviously making the episode a lot longer than it really needs to be. This is negotiations. Alrighty, 85. Please don't tell me it's going to be upwards of like 100k. I mean, I would pay it, but I would not be happy paying it, to be fair. And one other thing we need to really consider this episode, and really I want to have a deep look into the finances as we hit 90k, is the pay-per-view revenue compared to the broadcast revenue. Okay, what is that? 91,000. $91,000. Okie dokie. Well, hopefully they don't come back in, because if they do, we're really going to be struggling. We're gonna struggle with that sort of financial deal there, sorting out that contract. Anyway, we'll worry about that later. Let's advance. Marv Statler looking pretty damn good over there as well. Alright, so we need to go U-Demand, we need to go Premier Pay TV, and then Demand TV Mexico. Unfortunately, no Coalition Network, but we've got pay-per-view coverage, medium in the United States, we've got big in Canada, and then we've got big in Mexico as well. So we should be fine. We should be fine. Alright, there we go. Now, venue, of course, we need to go to Toronto. I want to double check and make sure we actually hold the show there, because as you can see, the Go Home show wasn't in Ottawa, and it was instead in the Canadian Air Centre. So we don't really want a repeat of that. Anyway, we got Robin DeLay going before Wrestlers Court there with Tommy Cornell, getting a small positive impact. We've then got Angry Gilmore with Bowden Snoop, passing on tips on the microphone to his protege. And then we've got the same thing there for Doc, but he's passing on tips on psychology to his protege, Chip Martin. So, yeah, that's good for Chip. Chip does need some more psychology. Anyway, once again, the GOAT needs to try and work out his issues with Kavanaugh, but it's unsuccessful yet again. Okay, so let's book the main event first, because obviously I want to go black screen for that. I think I want to go black screen for both the Fatal 4-Way #1 contenders match and obviously the world title match as well. Just to give you guys, something to enjoy when we're actually going through the show. So I'll do that really quick now. Jump into the black screen. I should actually make like a proper screen for when I'm booking, without spoilers. Maybe I'll call it something like that, something relating to spoilers. All right. Anyway, we've got not Kavanaugh. Need to get my brain on straight. We've got Logan, the Unified World Champion, taking on Jackpot. And let me just say, Jackpot's popularity right now is looking damn good. Wow. This might be it. This might be the 100. Let me check Jackpot's. Jackpot's got 84 psychology, which isn't too bad. This very well could be the 100. We got so close last episode, but this could be it. Now I am going to script it, and it is going to be decisive. But that's all I'm giving away until we actually get into it. We actually have I mean, they're both that good that they're actually, one of them is actually complaining about it. And I wouldn't really expect this person to complain, considering the circumstances. I mean, I'm going to have to keep one of them strong, aren't I? I'm going to have to keep this person strong just to continue what's going on. Let me try something else. Let me try like a tainted. No, he's still unhappy. Okay. Well, we'll make it decisive, and I'll just have to keep him strong. So it's likely that this actually won't get us the 100, which is very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Anyway, I'll bring you guys back. We'll book the Fatal 4-Way a little bit later. But there is the main event. I think before the main event... yeah, I think we go Logan. I think Logan goes onto Jackpot. He can be off screen, and then we'll get some success in there for Logan as well. Yeah, so that'll go pre-main event. All right, what else have we got to book? Let's book the women's match next, actually. This one probably a little bit more straightforward. Amber Allen taking on Erin Gray. Obviously, like I said, I've said it many times, I'm a big fan of Erin Gray. However, right now, just not really her time to shine. And of course, Amber Allen, she needed to win this match to once again get back into title contention. So I think what we will do is I'm going to go with a Laura Flame, Doc, Hammond, Angle. And I guess we can put Amber in there as well. Do I have her? I think we have her off screen as well. And then these two can go entertainment. Now, I want to try not to put too many angles in the show, because I think one of you guys commented on the last, or one of the previous episodes, just saying that, it's not really necessary to have as many angles as we do. Obviously, with the angles comes sort of what do you call it? A preview of the storyline so far between competitors. So that is what I generally think does happen before pay-per-view matches. They don't just go straight into the next pay-per-view match. They either have an angle or they do a storyline recap, sort of previewing and building up the match just before it takes place. That's kind of what I like to to at least think that me doing these angles before kind of represents as well. Anyway. This one's going to advance the women's wrestling angle. Let's give that to Ed. That'll be pretty good there. One match we can not use angles with is the tag team title match. So we've got the Crew taking on the Texas Express. Of course, the new tag team champions. Put the belts on the line there. This one, it's going to be fairly straightforward. Got to give them a first title defense there, before we can really, take the belts off them. You know what we will do? We'll do a tainted finish, and then we might even give the Crew a rematch on the next episode for the titles again. So let's have an outside interference finish with Public Enemy being attacked by Tavon Blake Jr. So that's a good way for going about that match anyway. And like I said, it will actually allow us to have another subsequent tag match for the titles on the next Coalition Wrestling. All right, I think with us booking that one, we may as well book the next sort of Crew versus Jackson Protection Agency match. Sorry. And this one's going to be Mobstar taking on Jack Jackson. Non-title match, because obviously Jackson is the Canadian champion at the moment. I think we'll just give this one 16 minutes. I don't think it really needs to go that long. And Mobstar is going to pick up the win here. So obviously the tag titles, they're going to win for the Jackson Protection Agency, or at least retain. And then obviously Jack Jackson is going to lose. So the Crew gets a victory, and then Jackson Protection Agency gets a victory coming out of the pay-per-view as well. I think we'll script this one as well, because it is pay-per-view. So I don't want to get the psychology penalty that we usually get. So we'll try script it. See what happens. And I think we'll actually give Jack Jackson an angle with this one as well. Maybe we'll have mobs. Actually, we'll go back and forth. Go back and forth between the two. And hopefully, with Mobstar being in there, he might actually be able to boost Jackson into a much higher rating. Would be very, very cool. All right, what else have we got? We've got Darkstein versus Mutant. Now, this is a match I have really, really been looking forward to. Depending on time, we might actually give this one 20 minutes as well. Because we still do have 2 more matches left to book. But it should be pretty good. So, who do we need? We need... we'll go Aussie first, I guess. Names are right next to each other. Aussie Darkstein. We'll book it as 20 minutes right now. And we'll see how we go. Yeah, it's going to go like that. It's got to be your boy, Aussie Darkstein, getting a victory. Big victory over Mutant as well. I think we'll script this one as well, considering, again, it's the pay-per-view, 20 minutes. They do have really good... Well, they have good psychology. Not really good, but it's good enough. I think Aussie's just over 80. Yeah, 82. So that's probably still not good enough to get away from that penalty. With that said, I want to have an angle with Aldis and Aussie. This one's kind of just going to be... it's more or less Aldis asking what's going on with Aussie Darkstein at the moment. Yeah, there's no advancement with that one, because Mutant's not actually in the angle, so yeah. Alright. We've got Tommy Cornell versus Maddie Faith, and then we've got the Fatal 4-Way match. So let's go the Fatal 4-Way match first. Let me go black screen once again. Spoiler screen. And our 4 competitors, of course, Giant Brody. If I can find his name. There we go. Giant Brody, versus David Stone versus the GOAT, Davis Wayne Newton versus Aldous Blackfriar. I have a feeling that this match, I really hope that, I don't think it will, but I really hope that this match doesn't get the 100. That's a weird thing to say. Obviously, I hope it does get the 100 because I want to get it really bad. But for it not to be the main event would be pretty bad. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, let me give it 20 minutes as well. And I finally decided on a winner. It took me a while. It took me a long while to actually think who was going to win this one. But I think this one kind of makes the most sense. And I'm pretty happy with it. And no complaints from anybody. And that's pretty good because, I mean, 3 out of the 4 have pretty good popularity. So I was maybe expecting them to be a little bit more hostile, shall we say. Anyway, there we go. Fatal 4-Way is booked. Do we do an angle for that? You know what I could do? I'm going to bring it down to there. And then I'm going to go black screen again. And we're going to do an angle here with somebody else. And it's going to be like a celebratory angle. So it's going to be a little bit different. I'll type it in as well, but I'm going to keep it I'm going to try and keep it spoiler free. Otherwise, it's going to kind of defeat the purpose of everything that's going on. But we should be okay. All right, so I'm putting everybody else off screen in this one except for the person. Delete all the text. Yeah. I just had to remember to take the name out of it then. Otherwise, it would have been pretty silly. Alright, celebrates with the fans. Let me just fix it up real quick. Alright, I think that's pretty good. And I don't think the name's actually in it, so that'll work out nicely. Okay. I can bring you guys back. I think we did it correctly. But it does need to go after the match, because obviously it's a celebratory angle. So ... is the new #1 contender. He celebrates with the fans. I like it. One thing I do need to do is a storytelling match. We might go for the women. Let's just go for the women with that one. And then we've got just one more match to book, and that is probably going to be the opening match, I think. Because I want to have another Maddie Faith sort of dark, not dark, sinister. It's more, how would you describe Jay White's recent promos? They're probably out of frustration and wholly believing in a conspiracy against him. And I feel like that's kind of what's going on with Maddie Faith at the moment. Alright, so Maddie Faith, Tommy Cornell. Should be a good match. 10 minutes. How do I go about this? Actually kind of interesting. I think I'm gonna pull a bit of a swerve here maybe. And we're actually gonna go Tommy Cornell for the win. We can call, I think we'll call it. We'll try and call it anyway. Obviously Tommy has the psychology to call it. We'll make it decisive, but we will keep Faith strong. Hopefully, I think there's only 12 points of popularity between them, so that is still quite a lot. Hopefully that's not going to affect Matty Faith's popularity too much. I'll be fine with him maybe losing 2 points, going from 89 down to 87, because it's Matty Faith. Very easy to get that back up again with a decent storyline. But I like that, and like I said, we'll give Matty the angle. Hopefully, prevent some more of that popularity loss as well. So on screen, off screen, Angry Gilmore's fine. And that is Old Faithful. Let me type this one in as well. Matty Faith seems to have lost his mind a little bit. Believes Tommy Cornell is looking to take his spot. Oh. We know what it means. He's looking to take his spot. I guess I can just go like this. Get rid of Tommy. Believes Cornell is looking to take his... There we go. Okay. I like it. I mean, we could have actually fit that other match between Storm and Marvel, so a little bit unfortunate there. Just trying to think of what else we could maybe put onto the show. Could maybe do like a 6-man tag with, we could have the debut. Oh, we already had the debut of Mark Griffin, didn't we? Wait, which one's which? No, we haven't had Mark's debut, but we had Robbie's, correct? Yes. But with that said, actually, we might do something else instead. Because I'll add them as a team. We might just do a tag team match for their debut. Maybe against the Aristocrats, actually. Or the LA Stars. Maybe the LA Stars is probably a better option. Just as like a sort of exhibition match, if you will. So where are we? The Griffin family. So Mark comes first. That makes sense. Mark Griffin, and then Robbie. Robbie Griffin, suggest name. No, auto name. Griffin family. Okay, there we go. So there is the Griffin family. Former CWA World Tag Team Champions, which is pretty cool. And they've only got 52 experience, but that's perfectly fine. The amount that we're going to use these guys together is going to be pretty ridiculous anyway, so that'll get up to 100 pretty quick. You know, we've gotten other teams up to decent levels before, so you know it's only going to take, like, look at this one. The Moneymakers essentially came from 0. They're up to 60. We kind of stopped using them. So same with the Golden Goats, are at 48. The Crew as well. I don't believe they were tag team partners before. And yeah, we're definitely going to be able to build them up. So yeah, I think let's do LA Stars. We're going to work the crowd. LA Stars versus the Griffin family. Should be a really good match, to be fair. We might have a really high, maybe 85 rated tag team match out of this one. The potential is there because they're all really, really talented. And then I did say work the crowd, so there we go. Go Quincy, we'll go Ed. And that's the pay-per-view, basically. Do 2 or 3 quick pre-show matches. Let's go High Flying and the Puerto Rican boys. They can take on, I think, Disciples of Darkness. No, we're missing a member. So what we'll do, let's just go Robin Delay. Maybe Robin Delay and the Aristocrats, because we've kind of had the Puerto Rican boys go against the Aristocrats recently, so yeah, it's a good idea to have them go against each other again. This time we'll go high flying with the win, and Robin Delay can be the loser. We probably could call it, but I don't think it's really that necessary, to be honest. Is that referee or is that road agent? Road agent, okay. All right, next match, let's go women's tag, and let's have Air Raid and Faith team up to take on Laura and Deborah. Should be a pretty good women's match as well, and I think for this one we'll give Deborah the win. We really want to try and get rid of those damn morale issues that she's had for so long now, so that'd be pretty cool. On the pre-show, doesn't really matter who loses that one either, to be honest. Okay. And then finally, let's go for an 8-man tag, potentially. And I guess these two teams can be very, very random. So let's go with Mainstream, Gilmore, Savon, and Princeton. And they can take on Osono, the New Boys. I should add them in a tag team as well. Yeah, Sumayuki and Toshiaka. And finally, they can be joined by Mark Leon on debut. There we go. This one will give the victory to Princeton, I think, because we want to try and build up Princeton as well over the course of the next few months. So, oopsie daisies. Let's go Tommy. Yeah, both of them. Bit of a problem. We'll go... Actually, can RM Stones do it? And then we'll go Doc, because we're already using Doc on the show. But no, RM Stones. Alright, so we have to go Dace. I guess Dace actually gets a match to referee. Well done. Alright, that's it. That's the show. Let's sit back and enjoy final chapter. Here we go. Alright, so we start off with an 8-man tag on the pre-show. We get a 58. Also in front of 74,000 people in Toronto. Very cool to see. We have the team of Angry Gilmore, Mainstream Hernandez, Tavon Blake Jr., and Princeton Price defeating Yuta Osono, Sumayuki Samura, Toshiaka Katani, and Mark Leon. 11:56 when Princeton pinned Mark Leon with a price drop. And obviously Princeton head and shoulders above everybody else. And Mark getting an 11 on debut. Wins and losses for his gimmick, have greater impact on momentum, which is okay, but it's kind of bad, considering he's probably going to be used as a jobber once he does come up to the main roster. But he did get an initial rating of great on his gimmick, so fair play. Fair play. All right, we then go into a very good rated women's tag match. We get a 77, potentially beating the women's match on the actual pay-per-view. But we do have Laura Flame and Deborah Young defeating Air Raid Siren and Faith McGee in 12:11 when Deborah Young pinned Faith with a sit-out powerbomb. And obviously Laura carrying the match with an 83 in-ring performance this time. Great stuff. And then our final pre-show match, we have a 6-man tag getting a 67 rating here. So the women actually carrying in the pre-show there. Very impressive. Very impressive indeed. We do have High Flying Hawaiian and the Puerto Rican boys defeating Robin Delay and the Aristocrats in 12:26. And High Flying Hawaiian pinned Robin Delay with a Pacific Crush. Yeah, just a good match. And we got 75 in-ring from High Flying. So he's kind of getting up to that upper mid-card level now. Like really starting to solidify himself. Alrighty, we then start the show off with a 72 rated tag team match. Where we have the debut of the Griffin family. And they On debut, get a big victory. They defeat the LA Stars in 11:42 when Mark Griffin in LA Star 2 with a swinging side slam. Great stuff there. Both teams with tag team specialists, but unfortunately, man, Wrecking Machine gimmick initial rating of poor for Mark Griffin. That's very frustrating. Very, very frustrating. I should have potentially changed that. Gives a small penalty to charisma, and then he can't go into comedy gimmicks, or can't lose to comedy gimmicks or comedy bouts, which is fine because we don't do any of that stuff anyway. You know what though? It's a pretty good match, and I mean Mark still got a 78 even with that poor gimmick, but he was actually outshone by an 81 from LA Star 2. I feel like this match should have potentially been better than it was, actually. Obviously, no storyline, which is fine. But apart from that, everything else was okay. Anyway, 72, we'll take it. Alrighty, we then go into an 88 rated angle, and it seems that Matty Faith has lost his mind a little bit, and he believes Tommy Cornell is looking to take his spot. And of course, we already know that, you know, Matty Faith is kind of said that he wants to end Tommy Cornell's career. You know, basically put him out to the pasture for good. He says, you know, a 46-year-old should potentially know when it's time to hang up the wrestling boots and call it a day. And Matty's just wanting to essentially be that person, and says that he's not willing to give up his spot for an aging Tommy Cornell. The match between the two getting us an 82 rating, so it's okay. It's pretty good. Again, it's only a 10-minute match, so there's not exactly too much you can really do in a 10-minute match, which is unfortunate. But we do have a bit of an upset. We've got Tommy Cornell actually defeating Matty Faith in 9:43 by submission with a guilt trip. Unfortunately, though, how did this happen? Tommy Cornell was really off his game. Mr. Consistent was off his game. Only getting a 68, and he's been getting like mid-70s recently for his in-ring performances. Luckily, Matty Faith with a 95. Kind of feel bad giving him the loss there, because he obviously carried this match to an 82. So maybe it is time for Tommy to call it a day, but that's a big win. That is a big, big victory over Matty Faith. Alrighty, we then move into a 100 rated angle where we have Forces of Darkness, and they're not looking too good. All this is kind of... I forgot to make it a last man standing match. Oh no, I forgot. Wonder if I can return to the booking screen and change it. Anyway, let me talk about this angle before I advance. But yeah, we have Aldous basically asking Aussie the question, why? Why are you doing this? Why do you want to tear the family apart? Even though they're obviously not a family, they're much more of a cult. He asks him that question. Aussie just says, you should have picked me for one ring to rule them all. I was the better option. I wouldn't have been eliminated in the first round like Mutant was. You know, Mutant's been nothing but disrespectful. And Aussie kind of just says he's over it. He's just a bit over it. Over the darkness, perhaps. And yeah, Aussie was actually very poor trying to improvise dialogue. So to still get a 100, it's pretty crazy. He's also getting better at his gimmick, because again, we did tweak that. It was still a legendary gimmick, but it might have changed slightly. Anyway, I can actually change the match. So with that set, can I change it? I can. All right, perfect. There we go. Last man standing? Last man standing. All right. Continue the show. Okay, there we go. We get a 91 rated match here for our last man standing match that I luckily changed just before. Luckily, I remembered, because usually that wouldn't happen. But anyway, the show is saved. We have Aussie Darkstein defeating Mutant in a last man standing match in 20 minutes 10 seconds when Mutant could not beat a 10 count after a golden shower. What a good match, though. Really, a 91. I wasn't expecting that from this match. Maybe like an 80, between 80 and 85 was kind of where I was thinking it might lay. Get a 91 is pretty impressive. And, you know, Darkstein might turn into Goldstein over the coming months. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. Alrighty, we then go into another 91, this time for the Jack Jackson Mobstar angle together. Funnily enough, they both struggled when going off script. And it still got a 91. That's pretty hilarious. I'm not going to lie. That is very funny. Because it might have got a 100 potentially if they didn't struggle. Anyway, it is what it is. Basically, Jack just, again, reiterating the fact that, you know, it wasn't personal to Mobstar. He doesn't understand why he's so unhappy. And obviously, Mobstar's just, you know, he's pissed off. He said he can respect the hustle, but he's, you know, it's personal because he cost him, or his group, the protection agency, cost him one ring to rule them all and a chance to get his unified world title back. And Mobstar ain't so happy. Their match also doing pretty well. About what I expected. Again, it was probably going to be in that 80 to 85 range. And we get an 85. So we top out that range nicely. Very good match. Final chapter's looking pretty good so far. You got Mobstar defeating Jack Jackson in 15:57 by pinfall with a flat and a DDT. Just a good match. 92 in-ring there from Mobstar. Only a 68 from Jack, but hopefully after this storyline, he'll be looking a lot better. Anyway, we move on from the 85 into a 90 rated match. And it would have been better. We have Davis Wayne Newton, the GOAT himself, defeating David Stone, Aldous Blackfriar, and Giant Brody in 1942 when Davis submitted Giant Brody with an STF. The GOAT wins. The GOAT is your new #1 contender. And I'm happy about that. I'm sure a lot of you guys are as well. Also, I put up the poll the other day, and a lot of I think Davis won with 56% of the votes, which is pretty crazy. And like other guys there were Logan, Aldous, and I forget who the other one was, and then we had the other option as well. But yeah, this match would have actually been a lot better than 90. But as you can see, Aldous Blackfriar sustained a bruised kidney. I was going to say bruised kidneys, but just one kidney, apparently. And then, yeah, he was slowed down a little working with an injury. So he only got an 88. And of course, he's more likely to get a 98. So would have been a lot better. And yeah, Davis actually the best performer in the match, I guess, due to that injury, getting a 93. Even Brody actually pretty impressive, getting an 82. Very solid. And then David Stone, pretty consistent actually at about 88. Be nice to get him into the 90s, I think. Yeah, there we go. New #1 contender. Davis Wayne Newton. And it was Brody with a botch. Come on, Brody. I'm about to push you as well going into the new year. And you're going to botch on one of our biggest stars, really? Anyway, there we go. A 100 rated angle. It was kind of a promo, but it's not really a promo. And of course, the GOAT is our new #1 contender. He jumps into the crowd, celebrating with the fans. And yeah, it's a 100. Hopefully Davis's popularity will be close to a 100 now that he broke through his 87 barrier. Moving in to a 78 rating, where we have the Texas Express defeating the Crew in 12:10, when Turk Treneman defeated Public Enemy with a spinebuster, following interference from Tavon Blake Jr., and the Texas Express make defense #1 of the CWC Coalition Tag Team titles. And then obviously, Super Christie head and shoulders above everybody else in the match. with a very solid 83 in-ring performance. 78's pretty good for the tag teams. Very decent. All right, we then go into a 76 rated angle where we have the only couple, shall we say, in the coalition, Laura Flame and Doc Hammond. And once again, they sort of reiterate to Amber Allen and, of course, to the 74,000 fans in attendance that Amber Allen needs to beat. She needs to beat Erin Gray, otherwise she will no longer be sort of considered the number one woman in the division, and she will therefore not be sort of owed a title shot due to the interference at the last pay-per-view. So Doc is is given her an opportunity to once again get another title shot, but this time she has to beat Erin Gray. And yeah, both of them actually working really well without scripts. Very happy with that. The women's match is also actually really good. I thought this might struggle a little bit, but we get an 82 rated match here with Amber Allen defeating Erin Gray in 12:26 by submission with a cross arm breaker. Wow. It's a lot better than both of their in-ring performances, actually. We've got a 79 there from Amber and only a 56 from Erin, so well booked. And this was the storytelling match as well, wasn't it? Interesting. They both got the holding back penalty for the storytelling, and then Erin Gray was also inconsistent. So this could have been even better than an 82. There's no title on the line either. Surprised, but happy. All right, here we go. Here we go, boys. We get a 100 rated angle from Logan Wolfsbane, the current Unified World Champion, and he says he has to finish 2024 as the Unified World Champion. He cannot lose to the One Ring to Rule Them All tournament winner, Jackpot Jordan. It cannot happen. He has to win. And tonight is not going to be Jackpot's night. All right, here we go. Can we get a 100, even with one of these two being kept strong? The match itself, the main event of Final Chapter, gets us a 96. And we once again get the damn psychology penalty. But it's still a 96. So it's still really good. But when you consider we got a 99 last episode, a little bit frustrating, but we'll take it. And we have Jackpot Jordan defeating Logan Wolfsbane in 1944 by pinfall with a cash-in. Jackpot Jordan wins the CWC Unified World title. Jackpot has he's hit the jackpot. He's now the Unified World Champion. And obviously, in kayfabe terms, he is essentially the highest paid wrestler in the company. That's kind of what the announcers put over. Everybody wants to be the champion. Everybody knows champions get paid the most money. And now Wall Street Enterprises have done just that. Change in leadership. Jackpot took the reins. And he didn't really look back. He paid the money to the Jackson Protection Agency. Helped get the victory in the final of One Ring to Rule Them All. And it's come full circle. He's now the Unified World Champion. But Logan is going to be pissed. He's going to be pissed. Anyway, I feel like that was a really good way to finish off the year. Finish off the season as well. And obviously Logan, he's had a really long title reign. So there's no denying that I think he's been our most dominant champion so far. Anyway, we get a 95, which is our third best show, I think, ever. I think it is. We'll double check that in a second, but a 95 rated show, the Final Chapter. I'm very, very happy with that, to be honest. The show does increase our popularity in 12 regions. However, it was restricted in 10 American regions due to the limited number of viewers, and also 2 Canadian regions as well, which is interesting. Obviously, none in Mexico, and then obviously some of them in Canada also improving. For praise, we're going to go for Deborah. I really should have used Graham Gorman. Anyway, well, Logan's not going to be unhappy. So actually, we'll praise Jackpot. Praise Jackpot for winning, and then trying to think who else has morale issues. Probably, actually, you know what? Aldous and Brody are going to have morale issues after that, the botched injury. So let me do that. This means that Aldous is going to have, that morale issue penalty in all of his matches and angles now. So yeah, that's a little bit frustrating. Oh damn, Brody, what is he doing? Careless from the big man. Careless. Anyway, it looks like we actually beat out US Pros Made in America pay-per-view. Very cool to see, and they had some good matches, man. They had some really good matches. They got a 97 for Stardust and El Leon. They got Tiffany J defeating Alicia Strong and Pariah in a triple threat to retain the women's title, getting a 96. And then we got a triple threat in the main event as well for Steve Freely defeating Sammy Back and Aaron Andrews to retain the world title there as well. Pretty crazy. That's a crazy pay-per-view as well. But yeah, we beat them. We win. So Zippy's gone to Black Maple, which is cool. We've finally completed the warming up period. So from now on, the national battles are going to count. They're called area battles, but it is essentially the national battles that you compete in. And it's on. It's on like Donkey Kong. And I'm pretty happy that we've stolen away, Aaron Knight, because he was going to be their biggest star. And it just works. All right, so we've got Tommy Cornell thinking that Mark Griffin is a natural talker. I guess he wants us to maybe give him some promo time. We got 919,000 viewers. So that's our buy rate, 1.83. Just under 920,000. And interesting, Final Chapter has had a rise in importance as well. Is now an above average event for its prestige. That's very cool to see because it is such a special show. And yeah, there's the botched injury as well. And now he's got a simmering tension with Giant Brody. Lovely. God damn. Happens every time. Happens every time. Let's have a look and see how long that injury is actually going to be for. It's only 18 days, and he can actually still do angles, which is good. And that's kind of all we need him to do at the moment as well. All right, so size. We've gone up to 90 in Quebec, I think. But we're still 91 in Ontario, still 88 in Manitoba. Although we're up to 80 in Alberta and 82 in Saskatchewan as well. Still got the Maritimes struggling all the way back at 55 though. Which is actually, that's really going to hold us back, isn't it? For going up to Titanic. Because you need to get 77 in every region of each game area. So we have to get to 77 in the Maritimes. We have to get to 77 in Puerto Rico and Hawaii, essentially, unless we maybe find a workaround for it and maybe not use the US as one of our 5 areas, game areas. Possibility, but yeah, I mean, we are kind of going to focus on the US anyway, so we have to. We have to get them up to 71 just to go up to large. So it's only another, 6 points after that. Should be achievable. Just more a matter of time, shall we say. Anyway, top 100s. We have, Final Chapter in at number 3, which is very cool. I really like it. I really like it there. Obviously, it wasn't our best show. So that's fine. We got a 96. If I didn't have to keep Logan strong in the main event, which is unfortunate, really, we might have done a little bit better. Anyway, let's check a few things. We got to check jackpot first. There we go. 100 popularity. I mean, it is what it is. These days, we have a real core in the company in our main event. It's like Jackpot, Logan, Mobstar, Davis, Aldous, Maddie Faith, and kind of David Stone is kind of creeping up there now as well. Just some of his sort of in-ring performances are holding him back a little bit. Anyway, Davis, I hope to God Davis is at 100 or very close to 100. 96. That's not too bad. Big month. Big month. He gained 6 points, up from 90 this month alone. So that's perfect. We've got to check Logan next. He lost 1 point. That's it. I am super happy with that, man. That is so good because we're going to have to do a rematch as well because obviously Logan was so dominant as our unified world champion. I think the prestige went up as well. Yeah, I guess it did, going up from 76 to 77. That's pretty cool as well. And yeah, we got 6 defenses with him. And he held the title from May until December. So that's what maths. That is a 7-month title reign, I think, which is actually pretty long. But I think that might be one of our longest. Maybe the early days was a bit different, but yeah, I mean, looking at that, it was also his first ever title reign as well. And he got 6 defenses, which is the tied most with the GOAT and with Americana Jr. And boy, is there some history there as well. So those 3 are now tied. Technically, I guess he's not the most dominant champion we've ever had, but he's definitely, like I said, he's in the top 3, no doubt. But he might even edge out those other 2, just for the fact that he's more or less carried the company on his back for the last 7 months. And we're now big size, so yeah. Anyway, let's check a few more people. Let's check out Tommy Cornell, which I think was pretty important. His big win over Maddie Faith. He's up about 5 points from that match alone, I think. I think he was at 77. I'm pretty sure he was at 77 going into that match. He's now at 82, so rocking and rolling on that front. I think Aldous is already 100. Yeah, he's still 100, I think. I think he was 100. Oh, he might have been 99. Now he's 100. Even though he got botched by an injury. There we go. Giant Brody. 81 popularity now. Yeah, 81. He's also up 6 points this month alone as well. Pretty crazy. Finally, David Stone was the last member of that Fatal 4-Way. Still at 89. I think he was already there. Yeah, I think going into the match, he was at 89 already. But he did come down 3 points because he did take the pinfall loss in that tag team match in the main event of our TV show. Is there anyone else? I'm just trying to think. Maddie Faith. I want to check his loss, I guess. Did he lose anything? Or was he already 90? Either way, he's up 1 point this month. So we'll take that. Even though he might have been I think he might have been at 91 going into that match, potentially. Potentially. Anyway, this is a big one. Aussie Darkstein back up to 80 popularity. So he's up 3 points this month as well. And eventually the push is going to be for Aussie Darkstein versus Aldous Blackfriar with his title, not his title, with his name title on the line. And of course, with a win in that match, he would be able to leave Forces of Darkness once and for all. So that's pretty cool. We'll check Mutant as well, actually, because Mutant might have got a little bit of rub off as well. He's at 72, which is up 2 points this month as well. So that's not too bad. Pretty happy with that. Finally, the women, Amber Allen, 78. I think that's about the same. She's up 1 point. 1 point. We'll take 1 point because she did lose 4 points to Laura at the last pay-per-view. And then finally, Erin Gray. Doesn't look like she gained anything. So she's at 53. She gained 2 points on the month. But then again, she might have gained that on TV and not at the pay-per-view. Because she did get a win on TV as well as a couple of promos. So yeah. Anyway, the important thing here is advancing 1 day and finding out how much money we made in the month of December and comparing the pay-per-view revenue to the broadcast revenue that we got for running the pay-per-view last month on our network. Very curious to see the difference. Might be a very small difference. And if it is a small difference, it's probably better for us to run it on our network because we have coverage across the whole globe. So I guess we can also see who is Wrestler of the Year and all that type of stuff, which will be pretty cool. And we might even take, I know I say this quite often, but we might take a little look at OWC. And I actually forgot to fix up the events last episode, but that's fine. It'll be a fresh new year, and they'll have fresh events, and TV will run alongside that as well. I'll take a sip of water while we finish the processing here. All right, so we've got Jay Cord, Wrestler of the Year. Not the most over in the world, but I'm guessing he's had quite a few 100s over in SWF. Actually, not that many. I thought there might be more, but there's 3 that I can see there. Obviously, lots and lots of 99s. There's another 100 there. Another 100 there back in April. Another 100 there, another 100 there. Okay, fair enough. He has had a pretty good year. He even started off the year in his second match with a 100 rated match with Scythe defeating Spencer Spade, Rocky Golden. Fair play. Fair play, Jay Cord. All right, Company of the Year. You've got to be joking me. CWA. Company of the Year. Got to be joking me. As the Iconics would say, or Billy Kay would say. Team of the Year going to Rocky Golden and Greg Gage. Even though Greg's now at... Matthew Keith is with CWA, not Greg Gage. Interesting team. Match of the Year going to... Interesting one. We got Wolf Hawkins defeating Killer Shark in a cage. Killer Shark being in it. It's pretty interesting. Show of the Year going to Burning Hammer, Night of the Burning Hammer, which I think is their best show, or their biggest show of the year. Young Wrestler of the Year going to David Stone. Second time he's claimed the trophy, but the first time he's claimed the trophy for CWC. Nice. I like that. Very nice. I'm happy with that. At least we won something. We got Veteran Worker of the Year going to Sammy Back. That's pretty obvious. Female Wrestler of the Year going to Brooke Tyler. Again, pretty obvious. Most Improved Company. Once again, I think that's the second time. We won the award. There we go. Most Improved Company of the Year. The Coalition. Independent wrestler going to Devilfish. We've got manager of the year going to Demeltzer Wade, who is now our color commentator, which is pretty funny, but there we go. Announcer of the year going to Mitch Nace. Color commentator of the year going to Devil Karube. And then referee going to Shane Stones, which is interesting. 98 refereeing. RM Stones does a better job, in my opinion. Anyway, let's see what messages we got here real quick. Oh, wow. CWA coming in for Zippy Deverell. Wow. You know what? I'll let him go because, you know, fair play. That's a really good move for him, and he's down in Dev, where we're not going to use him. Pretty funny for Black Maple, though. They literally just signed him, and now he's already being offered a contract. But yeah, Zippy can go. I'm not worried about that. Isn't that funny? They're replacing Aaron Knight with Zippy Deverell. Anyway, and there's Aaron Knight joining the Coalition once and for all. Also, Wolf Hawkins joining US Pro, which is pretty funny as well. And yeah, as you can see, finances. We made over $5 million last month. With, 2.2 million pay-per-view revenue. So it's nearly double. Well, it is basically double what our broadcast revenue was from running the show on our network. So we potentially lost about 1.1 million last month by not running just on pay-per-view. So what that means is we really need to try and step up the game for other regions around the world, because we want to get those pay-per-view deals in as well, so we can start to earn revenue from those pay-per-view deals, and also get the growth from those areas as well, while making, you know, decent coin. Yeah, wow. Okay. I wasn't expecting 5 million. That's really cool. I think what I want to do now is we're obviously going to try and upgrade the broadcaster. So USA is going to be the next one, because that's literally what we need to go up to large size. We need to get that 71 popularity in both Hawaii and Puerto Rico. We've already got it in all the other regions, but we're going to upgrade that. So 12.65 million. That's a lot of money. That's more than half of our entire, you know, bank balance at the moment. So I think I want to wait maybe 2 more months. We can keep getting about 5 million per month. That's another 10 million into the bank. It'll put us over 30. Then we should be able to spend that 12.65 without any real worries for our finances. And yeah, we'll go up to very big coverage in the US. Very good stuff. Anyway, we'll take a quick little look here. OWC. Actually, we'll go into the actual company screen. And we'll have a quick little look at the profile and the history. All right. Yeah, Primetime Jack Pride and Zach Powerson teaming up there. It's pretty cool to see. Still no women. Still no women being involved. Which is not great. Yeah, really, really not great to not see any women being used. So I think we're definitely gonna have to create a women's developmental company as well. And I think that'll be pretty beneficial to actually growing our women. But yeah, titles. We've got the Girl Power still vacant because they haven't even been in a match. Zach Powerson is still the heavyweight champion. It's pretty cool to see. 4 successful defenses there. And Zach he's starting to look really good. Roughly 6 points away from a call-up in psychology. So probably between halfway or maybe towards 9 months into the next year, he'll be ready to go then, I think. And all of his primary skills are looking pretty good now as well. Been improving in some of them. Others, not so much, but that's fine. Basics is capped obviously at 85. Selling still going up as well, which is nice to see. But the stamina is capped, which sucks. Anyway, he also gained a point of star quality in the last year as well. So there we go. Tag team champions, we've got Hank Whitman and PN Miletich. Very cool. Hank can probably come up, to be fair. Yeah, he's at 62. Very close. I feel like a team of Hank Whitman and Zach Powerson could do some pretty cool things. Honestly, they have a fairly similar look to them as well. And then the TV champion, we've got Captain Canada as well. And we want to bring Captain Canada up fairly soon because he's actually probably too good. They've also got up to small size. They were insignificant when we created them, and already they've gone up to small. Dude, they've been gaining popularity like crazy. We started off on 25, and it's already at 38. Wow. I mean, to get up to medium, they only need 59, and then obviously the 35 in either Manitoba or Quebec. Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. But there we go. That's OWC. Don't really know what else to really go over. How long have we've been going for an hour and 11 minutes. I think that's a pretty good place to call it, actually. So yeah, make sure you smash a like, guys. A great final chapter. Really enjoyed all the matches on the card, to be honest. I think we built all the storylines up pretty well, especially from One Ring to Rule Them All as well, with like Mobstar and Jack Jackson and that whole storyline. And then, of course, the Forces of Darkness storyline still continuing. We've got our new #1 contender in Davis Wayne Newton. And then, of course, we've also got Logan sort of being offered, or I guess re-offered, a rematch clause for his, impressive title reign. Anyways, yeah, make sure you give a video a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, guys. And apart from that, take it easy and goodbye.